Have you ever felt perfectly fine, until you opened Instagram? You were okay with your progress. Okay with your life. Okay with who you were. And then boom. Someone your age is richer. Someone else is happier. Someone else seems ahead in every possible way. Suddenly, you feel behind, not good enough, like you're losing at a game you never agreed to play. Comparing yourself to others doesn't just make you feel bad, it rewires how your brain sees your own life. Today, we're breaking down why comparing yourself to others hurts so much, what's actually happening inside your brain, and how to finally escape this mental trap. If you enjoy psychology, self-growth, and understanding how your mind really works, subscribe to Brain Dots right now. Thank you. Let's start with something important. Comparison is natural. Your brain evolved to compare. Thousands of years ago, comparison helped humans survive. You compared strength, skills, and resources to know where you stood in the group. But here's the problem. Your brain evolved for small tribes, not a world where you compare yourself to millions of people every single day. Social media didn't create comparison. It weaponized it. You're no longer comparing your normal day to someone else's normal day. You're comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. And your brain doesn't know the difference. When you see someone else succeeding, your brain doesn't calmly analyze context. It doesn't say, oh, they had different opportunities, oh, they started earlier, oh, their journey is completely different. Instead, your brain jumps straight to, why not me? This activates the brain's threat system. Your nervous system reacts as if you're falling behind the group, your status is dropping, or your safety is at risk. That's why comparison doesn't just feel disappointing, it feels painful. The more you compare, the more your self-worth becomes conditional. Instead of thinking, I am enough because I exist, you start thinking, I'm only enough if I'm doing better than others. That's a dangerous mindset, because no matter how successful you become, there will always be someone smarter, richer, faster, and more popular. So comparison creates a game you can never win. Even when you succeed, your brain immediately looks for the next person ahead of you, and the cycle continues. Comparison hurts more today for three major reasons. First, constant exposure. In the past, you compared yourself to maybe 20 or 30 people in your environment. Today, you're exposed to thousands of carefully curated lives daily. Second, unrealistic timelines. You see people winning at 18, 21, 25, and your brain assumes success has a deadline. It doesn't. Third, silent suffering. You see achievements, but never the anxiety, failures, or loneliness behind them. So your brain fills in the gaps and it fills them incorrectly. Quick pause. If this video is already making you think differently, hit the subscribe button and join the Brain Dots community. You'd think comparison would motivate you. But psychologically, it usually does the opposite. Why? Because when the gap feels too large, your brain shuts down effort. Instead of motivation, you feel discouraged, overwhelmed, or paralyzed. Your brain says, what's the point of trying if I'll never catch up? This is called learned helplessness, a state where you stop trying not because you can't improve, but because you believe improvement won't matter. And that belief is incredibly damaging. Comparison doesn't show you reality, it shows you a distorted version of it. You notice their wins, their confidence, and their progress. But you ignore their struggles, their doubts, and their setbacks. Meanwhile, you do the opposite with yourself. You magnify your flaws and minimize your wins. That imbalance slowly erodes your confidence, without you even noticing it happening. Here's one of the deepest dangers of comparison. You stop asking, what do I want? And start asking, how do I measure up? Your goals stop being about fulfillment, they become about validation. You chase approval instead of meaning, status instead of growth, speed instead of direction. And that's how people end up successful but empty. Comparison gets louder when you're unsure about your path. You lack clarity, and you feel behind in life. That's because comparison fills the gap where self-direction should be. When you don't know where you're going, you look sideways. But sideways is the wrong direction. So how do you escape this mental trap? First, shift the reference point. Stop measuring yourself against people and start measuring yourself against who you were yesterday. Progress beats comparison every time. Second, limit exposure. Not forever, but intentionally. If something constantly makes you feel worse about yourself, that's not inspiration, that's self-harm in disguise. Third, redefine success. Success isn't speed, it's alignment. A slow life that feels meaningful beats a fast life that feels empty. Here's the paradox: the moment you stop comparing yourself to others, you actually grow faster. Why? Because your energy stops leaking. You focus better, you enjoy progress more, you build confidence based on reality, not illusion. And slowly, your brain relearns something important: you are not behind, you are just on a different timeline. If this video helped you see comparison differently, subscribe to Brain Dots for more psychology.